Welcome back in, ERB Sports fans, to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about the 2023 National up at the Donald Stevens Convention Center over in Rosemont, Illinois, coming up in just under 2 months. Cannot believe it's already here. Summer is upon us. That means the National is upon us here at the end of July. In this video, I'm going to go over the top 10 reasons why I think it's worth attending the National. Now, these is my opinion. It's not going to be shared by everybody. Some people might put these in a different order, and some people might put other things on the list. Now, granted, I am putting 10 items on the list, so the 10 items I'm putting on the list might be a little bit overlappy, but I wanted to go through a top 10 list. So coming in at number 10 for me is trade nights. It's not really my thing. I don't really like trade nights. I've never really been successful at a trade night. Got to be honest, when I go to a trade night, it's more about the experience of watching other people, networking, and just kind of taking in the general vibe. I have a very hard time walking up to somebody saying, hey, I have cards, you have cards, let's make a deal. Because for the most part, we're all into our own things. And there are very few times where people are holding something that it's like, ooh, I got to have that. And then I'm holding something and they're like, ooh, I got to have that. So trade nights, number 10 for me. Some people might put it at number 1, but ERB Sports says maybe, maybe not. Number 9, people watching. In general, the National brings out people from all walks of life, all areas of the country, all areas of the globe. Maybe we'll get some characters out there again this year like we did the last time in Chicago. Pepino Man was one that came to mind. What a hoot that guy is. There's plenty of people that don't have YouTube channels that are taking in the National as well. And I think generally just kind of taking in the experience of who is out there, either on the young end of the spectrum, the old end of the spectrum, everybody in between, female, male, kids, adults, you name it, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, etc., etc. The National brings out pretty much everybody, whether you're there for autographs, whether you're there for cards, whether you're there for something completely different than that. Number 8 for me, and I could have put this one a little bit higher, but the corporate booths. I think the corporate booths are always worth a check out, whether it be the Topps booth, whether it be the Panini booth. Those are obviously 2 of the popular ones, but then you also have your auction houses like Pristine and Heritage, Golden Auctions. You have got your kind of radio station type personalities. I think last year you had Sports Card Live / Sports Card Nonsense. You had the SCI folks had a booth. I think the other thing worth checking out is all the retailers like the Dave & Adams, the Blowout Cards, the Steel City. They got a huge selection there, and we'll get to that in a bit with regards to my other favorites. Number 7 for me is the content, making content for a YouTube channel. I think that is a very good place to make a wide variety of content, whether you're checking out items, doing a kind of bit of show and tell, whether you're making content about your pickups, whether you're networking with friends. It has got something for everybody, and it is a content maker's dream. Make a list ahead of time of what videos you want to make. Go live, don't go live, make videos, do highly produced videos, do completely ad hoc videos. Just take in the experience and have a lot of fun. So that is another reason why I am looking forward to the National, is making a lot of YouTube content. I'm only personally going for 2 days, but I would like to make at least 5 to 7 videos so that I can have enough content for about a week's worth of shows. The next reason is the challenge of finding cards that you can only find there, and overall make sure that you didn't leave any stone unturned, any T not crossed, any lowercase j not dotted. Always wanted to say that. That's a movie reference, by the way. Movie that is based in Chicago. Name it in the comments below and you win a prize at the National. No, I'm just kidding. But name it in the comments below which movie I'm referencing there when I say dot your lowercase j's, because everybody says dot your i's and cross your t's. I always wanted to say the other thing, because there is a lowercase j, with a dot. Anyway, moving right along, the challenge of finding players, like whether you're into like Josh Allen, Shohei Ohtani, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, you're going to see a ton of cards from your favorite players. You're going to see a ton of cards from your favorite players you've never seen before. Making sure you didn't miss anything is definitely part of the challenge. I think making sure as well that you take in the entirety of the experience, whether it be a piece of autographed memorabilia, a sketch, you name it. Make sure you take on the challenge of checking everything out that you can and not just sticking to one particular genre, whether that be like ultra modern, sealed product, vintage, autographs, you name it. The fifth reason why I am looking forward to the National kind of goes hand in hand with the challenge, but it's the variety. You're going to see things at the National that you can only see at the National. They very, very rarely come out and see the light of day, whether they are for sale, whether they're purely kind of museum showpieces. All the big auction houses, whether it be Golden, Heritage, Pristine, they almost always put a very, very cool card on display. In 2021, I think it was the TT06 Honus Wagner. Last year, it was a couple versions of the Mickey Mantle and an SGC 9.5 and a PSA 10. So I don't know what we're going to see this year. I'm speculating maybe something a little more modern. Maybe we'll see something like a Tom Brady card, a Michael Jordan card. Who knows? We could see anything. Honestly, it's anybody's guess at this point what we're going to actually see. But somebody probably knows that answer and has to keep it a secret. So variety. Overall, take in the National for what it is and don't leave any stone unturned, like I said. The number 4 reason is silver packs. Now, what is a silver pack? Silver pack is a special pack that you can only get at the National. Topps usually does one. Panini usually does one. Last year, the Topps packs were Bowman Chrome. They were absolutely loaded. Rumor has it that they're going to be loaded again. The Panini packs, they're loaded sometimes too, although last year they had a collation issue and it seemed like some of the influencers got all the hits and then some people got a bunch of dry packs. And that was a lot of controversy after the National too, when you were buying those on the secondary market from a Steel City, Blowout Cards or something like that. But I think those are fun. You usually have to buy a sealed product, whether it be a hobby box or some kind of variation of a box from one of the 3 manufacturers there. If they need to show proof of purchase, you got to purchase it from them. If they don't, sometimes you can get that list ahead of time or even buy it at a card shop or something, wherever you can get a great deal and have it with you. Bring it to the National, have them take the wrapper off and get a sealed redemption pack like that. So be on the lookout for silver packs. They are always a ton of fun. The number 3 reason that I am looking forward to the National would be sealed wax on the last day. It's kind of like a Dutch auction in a way. When you get to the National and let's say you have a sealed box of hoops. We have a sealed box. We have an unsealed box of hoops. But if we had a box of hoops here, the first day you show up, normal retail price $24.99. National special might be $22, $23. By the time you get to the last day, if they got a lot of boxes left, it's not going to be $22. It's not going to be $23. It's probably going to be more like $11 to $8. So be patient and wait to the last minute to scoop a bunch of those up if that is your thing. Not for every product, but some of the lower end products that they probably print a lot of is definitely worth a look. And then the same thing goes for dealers. You know, sometimes you can work deals on the last day. People brought a lot to the National. They brought a lot to sell at the National. If they get to the last day and they haven't moved it, they don't want to pack it up and take it back. So go ahead and try and work those deals on the very last day. That's why this year I'm switching it up and I'm going on Saturday and Sunday instead of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to try and see if I can snag some deals on the last day and hope that I can catch lightning in a bottle. I don't know that it's lightning in a bottle, but it still is fun, nevertheless, to hunt those things down and work that deal at the very, very tail end of the show. The number 2 reason, the true experience. Take in the true experience of the National. And what do I mean by that? Go and look at everything. Don't just go look at your favorite thing. Go look at the autographs. Go look at the helmets. Go look at the artwork. Go look at the vintage. Go look at the pennants. Go look at the autographed pictures of pop culture like Frank Sinatra and James Dean and all sorts of things. Some of those things you can only see at the National, other than maybe like a swap meet or some kind of a vintage fair. They're just cool to check out. So if you're into like modern basketball, modern football, modern baseball, or Bowman, don't just stick to that. Open your horizons and go check out everything, even if you don't intend to buy it. Just go look at it. Just go take in the experience. And some of these people that have been at the National have been there for a very long time. And their booths prove it, because they're not selling ultramodern. They're not selling sealed product. They come there with the absolute most obscure things that you could ever imagine. Baseball bats, catcher's mitts, badminton rackets, you name it. They almost like museums in a way. I don't know that they ever intend to sell anything, but they are there to take in the overall experience. A lot of buying goes on at the National too. That's the other part of the experience. If you do want to move a lot of product, even if you're going to take a low end price, there's a lot of buying that goes on at the National by dealers. So if you have a lot of stuff to move and you don't feel like you can get top price on eBay, or you want to move the product in volume, take it to the National. There will probably be a table willing to buy from you. A lot of buying goes on at the National. And that leaves me to the very number one reason that I'm looking forward to this year's National. And that is hanging out with the people that I know from YouTube, that I know from card shows, that like my local card show guy, Andy Albert from Indie Card Exchange. He knows who we are by first name. He recognizes us now. We always make sure we stop by his table and kind of give him a little chit chat when we were at the National last year. So we'll probably do the same this year, but we know more people now, and so we'll do more networking. That is always really fun. I would say that one of the drawbacks of going Saturday, Sunday is much of the experience of like the networking events that go on, that's already happened by the time you get to Saturday, Sunday. It's probably happened on like Thursday, Friday. But every year is different, and there's probably going to be plenty of things on a Saturday night. It's going to be hopping on Saturday night. So taking that in, spending time with Brett, spending time with Stryker, spending time with KC Card Connection, spending time with anybody else who is out there who is a fan of EREB Sports, who is a fan of Step in the Box, who's a fan of Batter Up with Brett and John, come say hi. That is the number one reason I am looking forward to the National, is just hanging out with you guys and having a great time. So I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 list. Let me know what your top 10 list is. Let me know if I forgot anything. And if I see you at the National, I look forward to it immensely. And take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.